Hello, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my March TBR. This should be a pretty simple TBR as I only have technically 3 books I need to read. I'm going to do a random pick of 3 other books, but I am actually spending just over 2 weeks out of the country. I'm going back to visit Cole over in America, so I don't really want to take loads of books with me. I don't want to set any strenuous plans. Technically 2 weeks on holiday, like I am working a lot of that, but I should be able to get through maybe 6 books. Am I going to do it? Maybe not. So I'm going to, I have a solution. I will get onto that after the required reading. I say required reading. The first thing I need to talk about is the Trash for Mass read along. We are in the penultimate month now, so I need to read House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas. Clearly this is absolutely massive. It is 800 pages. It's actually thicker paper than the first book. But at the time of currently filming, I haven't read House of Earth and Blood yet. So these might both end up in March, which is absolutely terrifying, seeing as I just said, like, I'm going away. I wanted to read physically and annotate these books, so that takes a little bit of extra time. Let's see, I might be able to finish House of Earth and Blood before the end of February. It's not a complete impossibility right now, so it might just be this one, but still, it's a pretty chunky book. As I was saying, this is the penultimate book in the Crescent City series, so we only have House of Flame and Shadow left to read in April. So, yeah. I don't have any thoughts yet because I'm very near to the start of this book. So I basically have nothing to say on these, but they are part of my TBR for the month. I then have my Patreon buddy read. This is where the top 2 tiers of my Patreon vote on a book from my physical TBR that they would like to read, and they selected Watermoon by Samantha Soto Yambao. I am in the very fortunate position to have a signed ARC of this book. I got it at Yauk back in November and I was excited to read this, but also really putting it off because of how much people seem to be excited for it. I've heard it has like Studio Ghibli vibes, but that's pretty much all I know about this. I am going off the excitement of other people to drive how I feel. Those who voted for it in the Patreon are very much looking forward to it. So yeah, we're going to buddy read this in the first week of the month. It says, on a back street in Tokyo lies a pawn shop, but not everyone can find it. Most will see only a cozy ramen restaurant. And just the chosen ones, those who are lost, will find a place to pawn their life choices and deepest regrets. Apparently it's very whimsical but moving. Yeah, I'll be reading this in March. I'm a little bit scared, but very appreciative to actually have this copy as well. So then the only other required reading is my Patreon TBR picks. These are, again, every member of the top 2 tiers gets to pick a book from my physical TBR and I write it in the jar. This one is definitely a mug. And I hopefully read the book in the month that I pull it out. So our pick for March is this one, which is, this could be anything. Oh, yes. Okay, it's not focusing, but this is Freya's pick, which is King of Wrath. We have King of Wrath by Anna Huang, which I don't know too much about this. This is the same author as the Twisted series, which I've really enjoyed. It says, ruthless, meticulous, arrogant. Dante Russo thrives on control, both personally and professionally. The billionaire CEO never planned to marry until the threat of blackmail forces him into an engagement with a woman he barely knows. Vivian Lau, jewelry heiress and daughter of his newest enemy. It doesn't matter how beautiful or charming she is, he'll do everything in his power to destroy the evidence and their betrothal. There's only one problem. Now that he has her, he can't bring himself to let her go. This sounds so great. It also sounds very bingeable, and that is what I need in a month of like heavier fantasy reads. This sounds really good. This is book 1 in the Kings of Sin series. I have seen that there's more in this series, and for once I haven't purchased past the book I'm like that's on my TBR. Mad for me. So maybe this will start another little series that I should be getting into. But amazing, Freya, thank you for picking this. This is a good add to the TBR. So if I manage to read House of Earth and Blood before the end of February, this is actually it. That's my TBR for the month. I did obviously say I'm going away for 2 weeks, and I've got a plan where I'm going to pick 3 books from my TBR jar. This jar was gifted to me by the lovely Victoria for my birthday, and it holds every single book on my physical TBR as at the end of 2024. So I'm thinking I pick 3 books from this. If they are in any way like special editions that I don't want to get damaged, books that I just would have liked to keep in my own house and not be thrown about in a suitcase. Then I will get my hands on a Kindle copy and read it on my Kindle while I'm away. Saying that, I'll be taking my Kindle. I love reading on it. I didn't think I'd become a Kindle person, but it is, like, I'm really loving it. So I probably will do a lot of Kindle reading on my trip, but I want to have 3 physical books. So let's go through this together. Unfortunately, we can't really shake the jar yet because it's too full. So we have to do a little bit of digging. We're gonna go for, oh my god, they're all gonna fall. But I want the one that I want the ones my fingers are trying to grab. Okay, I was going for this blue one. This one, but I've had to collect up all the other pieces of paper. Okay, here we go. We have this blue one, which the pick is, oh, why am I scared? Oh, perfect. I actually think this is a perfect travel book. It is See Me by Nicholas Sparks. Oh, amazing. This says at 28, he's focused on getting his teaching degree and avoiding all the places and people that proved so destructive in his past. The last thing he's looking for is a serious relationship. But when he crosses paths with Maria Sanchez one rain-swept night, his carefully structured life is turned upside down. It sounds fantastic. This is definitely the sort of thing I wanted to take with me on my trip. So amazing. This TBR jar hasn't failed me yet. So let's hope it continues not to. Okay, we're gonna go for, I can feel which one I've grabbed between my fingers. It's gonna pull loads of them out. Okay. Oh, I've actually collected 3. I'm gonna go for the blue one. Again, lots of tidying up to do. So this book is, well, I'm like actually shaking. Like it matters that much. Oh my god, I can't get in. Okay, this is, oh, I didn't want to read this yet, but I guess that's okay. So that one was They All Fall Down by Roxanne St. Clair, which is a book that Chelsea got me for Christmas. And weirdly, this is the second book that Chelsea got me for Christmas that's been pulled out the TBR jar. So clearly they aren't pushed down far enough. But this is one of those examples where I don't want to damage this book. Whether I take it with me without the dust jacket is a potential, or I just take it and, like, it's okay if it gets a little bit damaged. So yeah, this is about a high school group of girls. So every year 10 girls are put on a list, and it is the list of the hottest girls in school. So Kenzie, she's a bit of a wallflower, but she's been put at number 5. But this year the girls on the list are being killed one by one. It sounds really fun. I couldn't believe it when I opened it because I'd never heard of this book, but it just sounds fantastic. So yeah, it looks like this is going to be a holiday read as well. So we have 2, and they've both been blue pieces of paper. The colours mean nothing. It's just a way for me to make the jar look more interesting. So I'm going to dig and I'm going to grab another blue one. Blue has not failed me yet. Don't fail me now. I want this one, which is also attached to a yellow piece. Okay. 2 yellow pieces, just the blue. So this book is, I'm gonna give myself 1 veto. This is a true crime book about Fred and Rose West. I don't really want to take that on the plane. I don't really want to read that in Cole's house. Veto number 1. I'm allowing myself 1 veto. I feel like that's okay. True crime non-fiction, maybe I shouldn't have put in here because it's like, I feel like you have to be in the mood for that. Okay, so we're gonna give blue 1 more shot. Okay, we have, what are you? Please be good, please be good. Oh, this is book 5 in the Chestnut Spring series. It is Hopeless. It will finish a series this year, which is fantastic. I've been putting this one off because it's people's least favourite, but Heartless was my favourite, and it was like my favourite book of last year. So I'm actually going to try and read this one. Again, it's very bingeable. So I might try and read this before my trip. Because I know I'm going to bring it back and add it back to the collection. So yeah, that is also a very good shout, TBR jar. So this has become my holiday TBR. As I was talking, this didn't feel like a lot to read, but if we have both Crescent Cities, this is going to be quite the month. So hopefully this goes to plan. Fingers crossed. Please do let me know if there are any books here that you have read and absolutely loved, any that you've absolutely hated. Let me know your opinions on them down in the comments. But for now, I am resealing the TBR jar. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.